Let's talk about the Baja 1000. 7X absolutely dominates the Baja 1000. Mark Samuel's race team, SLR Honda, Honda's backed motorcycle team showed why they're backed by Honda and Monster and all those companies, and they did an awesome job. They executed a great plan. They all rode really safe. They rode extremely fast. They had great pits. They recovered from adversity. Bobby from San Diego Powerhouse fixed some wire that was wrapped up in the front wheel that Brandon Prieto had run over pretty dang quickly. You guys saw that if you were watching. And they had pretty fast pits and showed that their strategy was the best and on the day for the Baja 1000, and showed they pretty much are going into the 250, or if they want to come back, that they are the team to beat. And they have had some small things in the past, but they've certainly been the most dominating team in the last group of like 8 to 10 years. So congrats to the 7X team. Super cool. Congratulations, Mark, on putting together an awesome strategy, and JR Stanley, and getting all your guys together and working perfectly. I was a part of that team at one point, and so I do know the kind of ins and outs, and I'm proud of you guys. Good job. So moving back to second place and the champs for the series, the 11X team. They're the young guys. They actually played the race pretty clean. I think the reason they played the race clean was because of Hero Motorsports and some of the people that are helping them. It's a more mature group of individuals. They make solid decisions, and I think it's one of the factors for why they're the champions this year. A little bit of luck also, but great job to Arturo for being at every single race and not blowing it. Really, same with Carter. He got to the race or each race and put his effort in. I think at certain points of this year, his effort was a lot better than others. And if I'm gonna just start smashing people, I'll smash on Carter because he's here at this property sometimes. So his effort at the Baja 500 was quite awesome. Same with the 250. He wasn't around before the 250, but he did spend 6 weeks here at the Champ Ranch training with me and working on his own race bike. And he went out and showed who's dominant. I was bragging about who was the man to beat. It was Carter, and it was crazy to say that someone like Justin Morgan wasn't the man to beat at that race. And then at the Baja 400 came, and I didn't do a recap on that, but Tyler Lynn definitely deserves the man to beat award when it comes to the Baja 400, and again, he's the man to beat at this race, the Baja 1000. He showed the most dominant speed without any mistakes. When he had to shine, he shined. So congrats to Tyler Lynn. We had a question that said, is he the new GOAT? And the GOAT means greatest of all time. Ricky Carmichael's the GOAT. The greatest of all time Baja racer is clearly, in my opinion, Johnny Campbell. He won through adversity, and he was the cleanest guy. And yes, I know other players that have raced in the past, but I know what it takes to be rider of record. He did a lot of his own motorcycle building, and he trained, and he learned strategy from Bruce Ogilvie, and he, by far, in my opinion, is the GOAT. Guys like Larry Rosser have a lot of wins, same with Hingeveld, but they didn't do it the way Johnny Campbell did, and that's just my opinion. You can take it or leave it. I have respect for all the guys I just mentioned. They are champions that have more accomplishments than I do in Mexico, and so I do admire that for sure. But anyways, Tyler Lynn's got a lot of work to do to be the GOAT. He needs to start working on his own race bike and building his strategy, but for now, he's the fastest man, and he's the man to beat in Mexico. And I just rolled into that, and back to Carter Klein. Carter Klein rode his section weak, and he showed how much he's been training, despite him going to Morocco and going and racing. Proof's in the pudding. He put in 55-60% in his section, in my opinion. And he may say something different, but I know that his fitness only allowed him to race and lose time. And you could have, you know, this avenue of like, yes, you're going to go win the championship, and I'm the one who told him some of that, but he never even showed any speed of brilliance. He immediately lost 3 minutes, and then it was another 3 minutes, and it was like, okay, then I jammed my back, and then he was getting off the bike and letting Kieran pull some miles for him. So still love Carter. Just think that he's got a lot of work to do. I think Arturo's got a lot of work to do. And by far, Kieran Nairn is the man on their team. He has really stepped in. He made a massive mistake at the San Felipe 250. And if truth be told, one of the baddest dudes in Baja, Justin Morgan, pushed him away. And despite what he thinks or not, that's the truth. And he pushed him away and said he didn't want to race with him. And he had another opportunity to work with myself in 11X, and he's shown to do a great job for 11X. He's selling sponsors, he's training, he's helped me build his race bike. So I am very proud of Kieran. He's putting in a lot of work, and I'm proud that they won the championship. That bike came from this property the last 3 races, so I helped helping them win that one Baja 500 kind of with a little bit of luck, and second place at the last 2 races. So they're not the fastest guys down there, but they're the most consistent this year, so congrats to them. Working right on down the line. 15X has made some decent mistakes this year, and they showed to have some good riders and some good strength at the Baja 1000, and they showed that their resilience and their ability to get back on their feet after some of the mistakes they've made is they're strong at it. They're wanting to come race, and it's really cool. So congrats to Norman Racing on third place. If I had some downfall things I had to say about it, I saw a pit that it was quite messy. I think when you build a strategy, you change the tire when you're supposed to change the tire no matter what. I've done that way too many times. If you say you're going to change the tire at 300, put it on the box and change it. Don't look at a tire and see that the knobs are still kind of there and then let it go, because at race mile 450, your tire will come apart, and that's what's happened to me before. So I'm just telling you from experience. The other thing is it's really important to have a team when doing service at score races to be very prepared and know their tools and know what they're supposed to do and be practiced. If you think that I haven't practiced taking a rear wheel off or changing an air filter many times, you'd be very wrong. I do it all the time. That's why I'm a good candidate for a fast pit. So I helped with changing the air filters on 11X, and then I did a rear wheel at the very end of the race. And again, we're going to do like a compilation of all the pits that we got on film, 7X and 11X, and then that 15X, and maybe whoever has some videos would be kind of cool. So definitely going to show that. Anyways, going down the line, still congratulations to 15X, third place at the Baja 1000. You guys showed an awesome effort. It was cool to see Axel Pearson, national hare and hound racer, kind of semi not doing that anymore, but he got on their bike and had some long stints and rode pretty dang good, which is pretty cool. Moving right down the line, 13X, fourth place. You boys are putting it together with you know, Dad is a big sponsor. That's really cool. Fourth place. It's awesome for you guys. You got to keep working hard on your strategy. You got to, you know, learn more about your motorcycle. You got to practice on being faster in the States, and you got to come back even stronger. And it just takes, you know, mentorship, and you got to get someone to help you up to the next level. And I'm here for you if you want, but you know, that's 11X knows how that goes. So fifth place, the Aussies. I could expect that they were a capable fifth place team. They put it together. They showed some wisdom. There was some guys there that were multi-time Fink champs. David Walsh is 5-time, I think he said, 5 or 6-time. I think they were joking about a half-time there, but David Walsh kind of led the team, and he's been down the Fink track a few times, a few million times, and he raced the Baja 1000 a few years back. on Chavo's team. No, not Chavo's team, but with Eric Yorba, and so he has some ball experience. And it was cool to see the Australians show up, get sponsors, and race an event that costs well over $50,000 to get to. And they had a decent group of Australians there supporting, and so I think it was a valiant effort. I don't think I was going to expect them any more than where they finished, just because of how different it is. I went to Fink as a champion in 2015, just won the Baja 500 Sur race by myself, and thought I could beat Toby Price, and flailed, to tell you the truth. I went over there and swapped and while pre-running and crashed so bad that I had no confidence, and it was a silly thing for me to think I was going to go over to a different country and be solid as a dirt bike racer and beat all the guys that know that place. So some things to mention about 9X. I think 9X has a strong effort, and they have some people in there that really can get the job done, but they've been struggling with mechanical things. They've been riding the Gen 1, and the Gen 1 takes a certain recipe. It's an older motorcycle, but it really works well. There's some other things to mention. I heard and saw that Sherco showed up with a valiant effort with a lot of motorcycles to pre-run and a group and some race bikes, and again, Sherco could have massively benefited from someone like me, or with experience like AHM. You can roll literally into knowing another 30 more questions. And so talking about the Ironman again, those Ironman 19 guys didn't finish. It's very important that you get as much information as you can so you actually can put a finish in. The Baja 1000 is a serious deal, and it takes a lot of wisdom. And if you are going to pay score $4,000 and you're going to pay a hotel multiple thousands of dollars and fuel, you might as well invest in some knowledge so you can further your results. And I can tell you that I do offer those services. So I guess I'm here preaching about Champion Adventures. And if you guys are interested, I'm here all year long. I build race bikes just like San Diego Powerhouse, and I will tell you, San Diego Powerhouse is doing an absolute great job producing motorcycles for the 7X team. They built 411, they built 13X, they had a hand in 9X at the beginning of the year. They started off building 11X at San Felipe 250. Bobby is a solid dude, and you know, I think both opportunities are aplenty, and I just wanted to share that because I'm bragging about myself. So anyways, score. Last thing, kind of, hopefully I'm not too boring, but score is I'm sore about score. I like people in the score regime. I think they made some bad decisions this year, again with that DNF thing, making people not want to come back. And I know the 1X team, I can talk about the 1X team. They DNF'd this race, and the other DNF of the 25X. It's really unfortunate to see those KTMs crash and then make those mistakes and then not finish. Since when did motorcycle guys start acting like trophy truck guys? Like, you race the Baja 1000 because you're supposed to finish. And I can tell you, if you guys are listening and you are on those teams, that I've been in the position. In 2019, I blew the bike up, and Derek got on the bike, and it pretty much went 5 miles, and it was smoked. And AHM came to my service, and they drove a truck out, and I worked on the motorcycle, and we took one top end and we put it on the other top end. And then it felt really crappy the whole time we were doing it, and you know, should we even be doing this? And then we put all the effort together, and we made the finish, and it felt really good after that. We actually finished the Baja 1000, and when you quit the Baja 1000, nothing feels good about that. So you guys gotta put it together. You got mechanics. There's no reason you can't rebuild you know, the motorcycle. What happened? Why you just quit? It's really unfortunate for the 25X team to get a DNF, and the the 1X team to DNF. You know, you got to show that you earned the championship for a reason. You guys are strong, you're resilient, you have a good program, your riders are good, your mechanics are good, all those things. And to, you know, crash and break your wrist and make a mistake, that's acceptable. But then roll up and, you know, like all we see is basically that you guys are out, like you quit. Now, rider of record was standing there in the last video that I saw, Chavo, and I have no disrespect for anyone in this whole group. It's all good, but I'm just telling you how it is. If you were part of my team, I'd be really just bummed about the whole situation. And so if you're rider of record, you know, to make this race team happen, get your gear back on and put the bike back in the race and show how resilient you are and why you are 1X. So and then for 25X, you know, Stavron tried. I think they had a rider go down, and I think that's another mistake. Mistakes happen in Baja. The more you don't accept them, the better you become and the better you fix them. But you know, they say that their motorcycle kind of started to have a piston ring problem or something, and then it stopped. I think despite what it was, they have a good mechanic, and he knows how to ride a motorcycle, and he should ride in there and help them fix that bike and get them going. That's my opinion. Maybe some of that DNF stuff for the overall championship, but score is supposed to, like, you guys are, if you all do that, then it really builds up who is the champion and why you're going racing. So if you guys are all a really strong team and then one team perseveres, it shows that, you know, going Baja racing is a gnarly thing to do. Like going to Dakar is a gnarly thing to do because of how freaking gnarly the race is. Well, so is the Baja 1000, and if you just quit like that, or if you're done that quick, then you kind of are just, you're playing the rich guy game, and you guys aren't rich guys. But anyways, that's the rest of what I got. Oh, how about Class 30? I thought Class 30 was kind of interesting. It was cool to see the same, you know, 25X's extension of 300X, Hano Montoya's team. They raced the 308X, 308X team, and we helped them test. It was cool. Shane, I think, did a good job. I think all those guys do a good job of kind of putting this like over 30 team together. They could be cleaner also, but congrats to them on the Baja 1000 win. That's pretty cool. Congrats to 317 for kind of being the guys that aren't, you know, the ex-fast pro dudes, and they put together a solid effort all year, and they won that. They played the championship the cleanest, and obviously showed up to all of them. So congrats to those guys. Congrats to the top Ironman dude on the Kawasaki. I'm sorry, I don't know your name. I can't remember everybody's name, but I didn't think you were going to make that Kawasaki go that whole race, and I'll openly admit it. And you certainly did it, and you won in a solid, strong fashion over some pretty gnarly dudes. And I think Brian Roberts was totally capable of winning the race on a Gen 1, which is thing's been kind of going. It was built at AHM, so it's a solid motorcycle. So I was confident that he was going to do pretty well. Brandon Wright was second place in the Ironman class. Pretty solid. That guy's got, you know, he's damn near a grandpa. I'm pretty sure he's got a daughter-in-law or a son-in-law that I met. So he's getting up there in age, and he put together a solid effort. That guy's tough. He's from up here in the high desert where I'm at, and congrats on that second place. He hasn't been really competing and riding that much, so the guy's tough. But yeah, and then congrats to first place on that Kawasaki. I keep forgetting his name, but it's super cool for Kawasaki to win the Ironman class. Someone asked about team strategy from point to point rather than a loop race, and I think most of it seems like team strategies, you can do a lot more hopping around in a loop race because you can kind of catch back up, whereas a point-to-point race, you usually want to have guys, you know, positioned in their locations, and they're racing. They usually will race more miles also because it's usually a little bit easier This race, I can tell you, this loop race was a tough race, and I can tell you that's why SLR showed up with 4 guys, which is another little thing that, I think it's kind of weak. Johnny Campbell never showed up with 4 guys. But anyways, I do want to mention Greco. Greco, I think, got 4th in the Ironman class. That guy is a supercross racer. Showed up to the Baja 1000, doesn't really know anything about it, and Ironman, and got 4th place. And that shows you are one tough SOB, I'll tell you what, because I haven't signed up for the Ironman class yet, so way to go. Chain guide on race bike. I use BRP chain guides. How many gallons of fuel do you go through, and how many tires? You go through 5 sets of rears if you're being really, thorough, and gallons, you're going 2.5 gallons, pretty much every pit. Somewhere in the like 30 gallons of, I never measured fuel overall because that would be a waste of time, but you surely needed 3 to 4 gallons at each pit, and they might do 18 pits. So probably around 60 gallons you need to be prepared with. Carter went slow because Carter didn't work hard. And then the guy on the Triumph, what the heck was Score doing? You don't approve that. I once almost didn't get accepted onto the start line because I didn't have a water bottle from Score. They almost held me back from racing because I didn't have a water bottle at the start line when I had 70 ounces on my back. So the fact that they allow this Triumph guy to go racing is absolutely ridiculous. You need to vet the guy. Now, if he finished, I didn't pay attention. I thought I saw that he may have finished. Great job, dude, but this is the problem with the trophy truck guys going through, guys like him. That is an extreme danger. Now, if you had someone like, what the heck's his name? Mikey Virus? If you had Mikey Virus on your bike, yeah, go ahead, go racing. The guy would freaking probably top 20 the thing. So, team rider, brought the most underdog spirit this year, and who surprised you the most? I guess I'm gonna go with 9X Austin Eddy. Underdog spirit, and the one who surprised me the most at the 250. He's gonna get that award for me as far as like what realm he's entering. He doesn't go race GPs in these states. He hasn't shown like this brilliance to be an amazing off-road racer, and then he goes down to Baja and shows great speed. So course gnarlier than normal, we talked about that. Bad crashes are just from everyone pushing. Everyone pushes early on and makes big mistakes, and Score starting the race at 1 a.m. is a giant mistake. How do you get enough sleep to go race stints of 6 hours and 8 hours and stuff like that? Or maybe you're only riding for 2.5, but when do you race in other locations where you're racing more than 3 hours? Score, you do that, and you need sleep. Rest is one of the most important things for your brain to think. 11X lost time in San Felipe because Carter didn't train the way he should have. He got pulled by Justin Morgan, and Justin Morgan kicked his ass because Justin Morgan had something to prove. He's the older guy, and he sure proved it. He is the second guy when it comes to like who's the man to beat down there. His teammate Tyler Lynn, and then you got Justin Morgan, and then I'm going to give the 3rd place to Kieran Nairn. Top teams, what separated 7X and 11X from the rest of the field? It was all of what we were already talking about, because they didn't really get separated. 1X was there until they made a mistake. 7X and 11X didn't make mistakes, and that's what the one thing I have to commend Carter for, even after I bashed him so hard, is that he wasn't making mistakes, and Kieran didn't make the mistakes, and Arturo didn't make mistakes, and that's why 11X are the champs and 7X kicked their butt. Roll-offs and tear-offs, most of the time Baja doesn't need any of that stuff. You ride with a lens that's tinted, and if it's dusty, you wipe it off because it's the dust. That's how Baja is. So and then Score's points method, do I think it needs to change? I don't think the points thing is really a big deal. And if you guys are still watching and you still want to hear me babble, I raced the Baja Rally in the beginning of October, and I absolutely loved it. Come beat me. Put a rally tower on your motorcycle and a big tank, and show up next year and beat me. If you think all this crap talking I'm talking and you can beat me, I'm gonna probably be at Nora this next year and Baja Rally, and I'll probably show up to the endurance races with Nick Garvin. So those are my plans. If you want to kick my ass, come show me who's boss. Come show this old guy who's boss. But I can tell you that Baja Rally was one of the most fun races I've ever had in my life, and I want guys like Justin Morgan, and I want Tyler Lynn, and Prieto, and I want Kieran, and I want Mark Samuels, and I want Mason Klein and Carter Klein. I'm calling all you pro dudes out that are racing around other these races. Show up to Baja Rally. The liaisons are short. You don't have to spend that much money on a rally tower. Most of you guys already have it. And let's have a real pro race where we race a decent amount, a real Baja pro race. Let's all show up without our teams, but it's a lot of fun, and we'll be able to talk shit in the evenings and race during the day, and it'll be an absolute amazing experience. So that's my plug for Baja Rally, and that's what I'm going to do next year. And this is a motorcycle I built for a buddy. They just smashed them pre-running 369X. Those guys got third in the Baja 1000. Built them a bunch of bikes. Built their race bike. It went through the race with flying colors, just like 11X. I'm out. Thanks for listening. I really appreciate you guys. Seriously.